Oh, always do you hear me with Nico Williams. Damn the music again. Damn the music. Here we go again. Here we go again. Another black male shot by the police. Here we go again. I just want to have a good time. Hang out with all my beautiful followers, my beautiful audience. I love hanging out with y'all and having a good time. But here we go again. Talking to you again about another black male being shot by the police. It's almost like, yeah, and we discussed this on other episodes, earlier episodes. It's almost as if they do that on purpose, in a sense, to traumatize us and incite some kind of anger and some kind of rage, because you did that today. You did it today. Damn the quarantine. Damn the pandemic. I want to stay in the house because I know that I can't even say that. Look what they did to Breonna Taylor. Is there anywhere safe for black people? Anywhere? Story comes out of Wisconsin. Jacob Blake, from what I can tell, he was trying to break up a dispute, I believe, between two white women. And in the midst of this, I don't know, I guess they ran his name. And I apologize. This is going to be just cuss word laden because I can do that. This is my show. So for my show today, I'm going to do what I want to do. In this, I guess they ran his name or something to that effect. They got called there for a domestic dispute that did not have anything to do with him at all, other than the fact I believe he was trying to break it up. His three sons are in his car. And he goes to the passenger side of his car, and the police officer tugged his shirt and shoots him 7 times in the fucking back. 7 times in the back, like a coward. When I was a kid, you know, my grandpa used to always tell me, you don't ever hit anybody or do anything to somebody while their back is turned. Shot a man 7 times in his back. So at this point, he is presently paralyzed from the waist down. They tore him up. Like, his insides are a mess. He lost most of his intestine and some of his colon. And he may not be able to walk again. I'm thinking about the heart of that man, though. You know, his mom went to go see him in a hospital. And he said that he's sorry. He doesn't want to be a burden on anybody. Mom, call my boss. Tell him I'm not going to make it in. It's a damn shame. He's thinking about his job, you know, PTO, you know, that kind of thing, wondering, you know, is the FMLA paperwork going to go through properly? I mean, he's thinking about his job, and he just got shot in his back 7 times in front of his kids. If I'm one of his sons, and I see that, I got to say, I'm going to be a very tarnished adult. I haven't seen anything like that, and I'm pretty damn tarnished my damn self. My childhood wasn't exactly perfect, but enough has happened in it for me to be a little piece of work. But to see your father, somebody that you look up to, somebody you think is so strong, to be shot, I mean, it was to the point where he leaned over into the horn of the vehicle, and it was just going and going and going. And for you to be a black little boy, to see your father be put down like that in such a way, that's got to upset you. And you know, if those little boys hear this one day, just know that your daddy ate them. And he's right there still with you. Because there's a lot of fathers that can't be there anymore. And I don't have mine anymore. But your dad, he went through something, and what he went through is going to help make things change. But let me talk about this piece of shit. Some punk kid. Some punk kid brings his ass from Illinois to go to Kenosha, Wisconsin while they're protesting where this happened. And he's one of these punk ass radicalist, running gun enthusiast ass people, piece of shit person, 17-year-old. A wannabe police officer. If you go look on his Facebook and all that stuff, I'm not saying this piece of shit's name. I'm not saying his name. You don't get that privilege on my show, piece of shit. You get that POS. But let's talk about his night. Let's talk about his night. So while people are protesting this last night, this punk ass kid, piece of shit, he goes to the protest and he's going to stand outside and protect local businesses. That's what he's there for. He's American, right? Comes from Illinois to go to Wisconsin. He had no business in that state whatsoever. Now, some bullshit happened. 100%, I'm going to be in Wisconsin for that. Like, I'm here for that because that's bullshit. But this piece of shit person goes here to, in a sense, incite people, because that's all these piece of shit motherfuckers are trying to do is incite rage and trying to intimidate people. When it all comes down to it, hold on, let me get back to the here. I'm getting back to it. Sorry, Vance. So he says that he's a part of a local militia. You're not. You're a piece of shit little kid. Who is 17 and has an AR-15, but whatever. I can't keep doing this shit, man. I really can't keep doing this shit. So he's downtown and he says he's getting interviewed by some piece of shit cameraman about what he's doing there, and he said he's a part of some militia. And then this is how deeply ingrained this racism shit is. So these militia men, these militia people, these militia pieces of shit, they're being applauded and thanked by the police officers of Kenosha, Wisconsin. They are thanking them for being there. We really appreciate you being here. Not one time do they say that to any of the protesters out there, the Black Lives Matter protesters. Thank you for coming out here, because it's not about Black Lives Matter. Thank you for coming out here and protesting against some of the bullshit that some of my colleagues do. That's what you be. Those are the kind of conversations that white people have behind closed doors to each other, and they laugh and giggle about that shit. How do I know that shit? Because for whatever reason, I was in a situation one time where I don't know if they just thought I was cool enough and they could just say that kind of bullshit around me. But I've heard white people say shit like that behind closed doors. Like, this is how you always act. And then you put on a face for fucking word. That shit happens all the time. And that's what, when he got on that loudspeaker and started talking his shit about thank you for being out here to this militiaman, little did we know that he would go out there to shoot 3 people. 2 of them would be killed. 1 would be super duper injured. Think about that shit. But let me tell you where it gets worse. This is where it gets worse. So after he does this shit, and I apologize for all this cussing. I'm gonna be on a different episode. I'm gonna be on The Bubble tonight, a very special episode of The Bubble tonight. But I know that I can't speak this way on that show. So I'm going to tell you like it is right now. So this piece of shit kid goes up to the police officers. I don't know, some kind of secret thing that they do to let them know, like, hey, it's all good. I'm white and armed, but it's okay. Don't fucking shoot me. He proclaims that he killed somebody, and he just walks right past them. And they're like, all right, as you were, and they drive past him and all that shit. He gets back to Illinois, he books his ass home, gets back to Illinois, and he's just now arrested today. It's because of, they say, the mob. No, I don't understand how this shit continues to happen. After what happened with George Floyd, I feel like that was the breaking point for a lot of people. And for think about what white privilege really is. For you to be in the midst of some shit like this because of your profession and the shit that some of your colleagues have done, and you still think that shit is okay to do, yo, that shit is mad wild. That shit is wild, man. And you still think you can get away with it. That is privilege if I've ever heard of it. Currently, I'm fresh off work, and this shit been on my mind all fucking day. Right now, the Magic and the Bucks are supposed to be playing their game 5 at this point. They have boycotted that game. I'm sure that's going to be the case for the other 2 games. I believe Oklahoma is going to play, and then obviously my Lakers are going to play. They're not going to play. This is the whole reason that they went to the bubble, is because when bullshit like this happens, they need to be in a position where the whole world is watching. And the whole world is watching right now in Orlando. They're watching these people stand up, and they are rich as hell. These are rich ass people that don't even have to give a fuck about us, but they do. They care because it could be them. I'm sick of this shit, man. I just honestly, man, we're in a pandemic. You know, honestly, I want to get on here and I want to get on my show and talk about love and all my antics that go on in my life and all just the randomness that happens in my life. But something's happening that's not random. People that look like me are getting killed. And we have superiors and things like that they don't look like me. And it starts a mistrust, like, you know, just in my everyday, like, I'm looking at everybody differently. Like, I was getting my oil changed the other day. And this white guy's walking behind me. And I'm like, what if he's one of those people that's like the next black person I see, I'm gonna kill him. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I'm so on guard with a whole bunch of, like, everything I do now. Because what's it going to take for just one of y'all to snap one time and then I'm the victim of it? But the thing is, I'm tired of us being victims of this shit. Like, I understand people want to run up here and run their fucking mouths about what black people kill black people all the time. Fuck that shit. First of all, black people got put in a position where we cannot operate within the world. They have it so that we can only operate within our own society, and people do things, and I'm not saying it's fucking right. It's not. I think it's bullshit, and I think that we need to love and respect each other a lot more. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And like I said, I'd love to come on here and laugh and joke, but I can't. I can't laugh and joke about this shit. Because that could be me. And I could never be on this camera ever again. I can never embrace my loved ones ever again. I can't even fathom that. I can't fathom that at all. Not being able to embrace my loved ones. Not be able to, you know, to tell a girl how I feel, you know. To not be able to tell my grandfather good day, like we do every single morning. That day that text message stops, and I can no longer do that shit. I don't know what to do to make things change. I wish we all had the same heart that I have, but we don't. Not everybody has the same heart. I don't know what to do. Because it's gonna have to take a drastic change in the mentality of everyone in order for something like this to work. So just know I mean it when I say this. I love you. I love you all. And if you're watching this and if you have any kind of hatred in your heart, let it go. And especially if it has something to do just because somebody looks a certain way. Find compassion for people. Because we are people. Just because we look different doesn't fucking mean anything. So I love y'all. I'll see y'all tonight on the bubble.